Welcome to episode 198 of Warehouse and Operations as a Career. I'm Marty, and WAOC is back on the road this week. It's been a while. With everything going on, let's see, there's been very little traveling since late February. At our company, anyway. Well, really, I think for most companies. Kind of by necessity only. I'm glad to see it getting a little easier. People here, or those I'm around, or, well, people I'm running into on my daily travels were or are on the verge of cabin fever, or maybe something worse. I wanted to talk a minute about a few of the new rules and procedures we may have to deal with at our facilities and how, well, some of us just aren't dealing with them. I had two young up-and-coming warehouse associates last week quit over a mandate that they wear a mask or face covering of some sort while working. My home state has issued orders that one must wear a mask or cover our faces when we are going into any store or a restaurant or when we can't maintain a social distance of things like 6 foot apart. I'm not going to go into all the politics here today. I have my own opinion, but I'll keep it to myself. And when I am out in public or going to the store, I tend to follow my own beliefs. However, at work, at my job, I do as requested. The job site is not a place to make a statement. More times than not, we may not be aware of why a process or a directive is put in place, but it is our job to follow it. I heard about one customer of a sourcing facility requesting that an automatic hand sanitizer stand be purchased and used for all the guests entering the building. It's just a must that we do. I'm used to wearing a mask. Every facility I've visited over the last couple of months required it. I was a little shocked when I arrived at the airport earlier this week with signs pasted everywhere, and I mean on every door. Oh, and when I checked in for my flight, I had to state that I would wear a mask while inside all airports and on my flight. Anyway, I was shocked how many people were not wearing one. I don't know if it was an act of defiance, maybe a belief that they have. I don't really know. You've heard me talk about the red light runners and the amber light racers and the HOV lane thieves. I'm praying we all keep the me mentality out of the workplace. There, we need rules, procedures, kind of a brotherhood as a people to keep us all productive and safe. Okay, on with this week's show. Like I said, I'm out in Denver this week. I'm visiting with 5 of our accounts out here and, more importantly, catching up with a lot of our unloaders, order selectors, and general labor folks. I'm excited to be bringing a lot of new training ideas and sharing some new orientation techniques with the employees and our frontline managers. And I have a special treat for us this week. While I was sitting in the lobby getting a little planning done, I heard a familiar voice. If you're a long-time listener, you'll recognize Philip as well. Philip, how are you doing, or I guess what are you doing in Denver this week? I think the last time that you were on the show, we were in your Chicago office.
That is correct. How you doing, Marty? Glad to be part of another episode. I'm out here in Denver taking care of some business as well. Checking on some accounts. With the new epidemic going on, we have to make sure that things are in order. So I'm kind of out here on business as well.
Outstanding. As you know, sir, I do a lot with the training, safety, and sourcing new talent for our light industrial world. It's been kind of slow. A lot of our industries are considered an essential workforce, so it's been kind of creeping along. But as the economy is rebooting, I'm seeing it pick back up. Your mainstay is in the distribution fields. What are you seeing out there?
Pretty much the same thing. Ever since the COVID-19 hit, the facilities there in Illinois never shut down. So there was a little bit of a slowdown period, but as you said, when things open back up, the floodgates just opened, and we're back rocking and rolling. Things are more busier than ever now.
You know they are, and I think that's great, especially the fact that we're onboarding more people. You know, I'm hearing from a lot of generalists and HR managers, even hiring agents, talking about the influx of unexperienced applicants. I think a lot of young men and women that used to love the retail or service positions like restaurants, hotels, or entertainment have recognized our industry kept working during the slowdown and are now interested in those types of jobs. Have you seen anything like that being sent to you from your recruiters?
Oh, yeah. While everything else was shutting down and, the food industry distribution center that I'm kind of in charge of was still running, the floodgates just opened with people looking for jobs. And, a lot of people that were in those type of job labor workforce weren't too familiar with the warehouse. And they thought that they would give it a shot. The pay was a little bit more. And, I welcome anybody that's willing to learn. And you'd be surprised after interviewing some guys how hungry they are for a new experience. So I welcome the new talent.
They are. And of course, warehousing pays pretty well. It's always paid pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think coming out of retail or restaurant, first of all, they're kind of disenchanted with those jobs now. They see the essential part of warehousing, so I can see them kind of flocking to that. I know only about 50% of the applicants that I'm seeing have experience that they claim to have. And I'm really kind of okay with that, or okay with the lack of experience. A lot of times I can still place them somewhere. They don't have any bad habits to break. What are you seeing out there?
I agree. Over the years, we've learned training guys from scratch per se, that don't have any experience. They tend to stick around a little longer. And like you say, the experienced people coming from other houses bring along those bad habits. And it tends to spill over to your crew. So teaching a person from scratch is a plus, in my opinion. And like I said, I welcome that, especially if you have a good attitude and you're willing to learn.
Yeah, I get more excited about the new talent. Number one, it's going to help them get a better job, or what I feel is a better job. Mm-hmm. I think the important thing, they've got to be honest with us. If they cannot ride an electric pallet jack, they need to tell us, hey, I can't ride one, but I'm a quick learner.
Yep.
And maybe we can work with them.
Yep. I've seen guys come off the street with no experience, and within 3 months, they picked up the pallet jack, forklift, and they begin to enjoy it. You can see it. I go back to the days when I first started.
They do. And I think what I hope that us as managers and all of the supervisors leads under us, I hope that they take time and work with these inexperienced people. Bring them up to speed. Help them be the employee that we need them to be. It's really up to us.
Yeah, it takes patience, Marty. You got to be patient. You work with a guy that's willing to learn and have patience. Anybody can be successful in our business.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And not to change the subject, really, and definitely not to put you on the spot, but I was honored to get to sit in on a management meeting that you hosted today. My observations are that, I'm seeing a reversal of the old can-do attitudes that used to be taught to a new member of management. Earlier, I was kind of ranting about all the me, please observations I'm seeing out there in life. Are we starting to see that type of finger pointing? And I don't want to use the word excuses, but I say accepting less responsibility seems to be the norm. What I saw in your young management team today, I was very impressed with. Explain how I'm wrong. What do you think about it, Philip? I do want to be wrong.
Unfortunately, you're right. As time go on, back in our day, we welcomed those new responsibilities. And, it can be pressure on guys having to take on new responsibilities, extra duties, things of that nature. And then they tend to come up with excuses sometimes. But, that's our jobs as managers to encourage them. It's part of a growing process. And, they mimic what we do. So if we have a good attitude, they tend to pick that up and carry it along and spread it along with their guys.
I was really impressed with how you and your area or regional manager during y'all's meeting, you took 5 or 6 very young supervisors and was explaining a lot of regulatory a lot of human capital and nurturing. I'm going to use the word nurturing, the way that you was trying to make them understand their employees are really there to aid them, but it's their job to teach them. I thought y'all did a great job today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Philip, we could talk all day. It was great running into you, and I want to thank you for taking just a few minutes with our WAOC group. I know you got things to do. That's why you're out here, and I really do appreciate you taking a few minutes for us, man.
Glad to be here, Marty, and looking forward to the next episode that I can be a part of.
Sounds great. Maybe I can make it up to Illinois here in the next several months and see you. And I want to thank each of you for checking in with us today as well. I didn't get to a couple of the topics that I'd written down, but hey, it was great visiting with our old friend Philip. Until next week, be safe, think of others, and remember our priority one is safety at work.